In Bruno Mars' new song, Risk It All, he holds back. Restraint is the whole song. That is a man who understood exactly what he had and chose not to spend it all at once. And that choice, that's not just artistry, that is vocal production. That's the craft. I'm Leslie Korsmather, your go-to vocal producer here in the vocal booth with you. And today we're going to do a full breakdown on Risk It All. And I'm going to show you exactly what he's doing with his voice and what makes this recording feel the way it feels and exactly what you can take away from it in your own recording sessions. Because this song is a big hit, but it's also a blueprint that you can use. Welcome to the vocal booth. Before we get into the breakdown, let me just give you a quick context on this record. Risk It All is the lead single from Bruno's new album. It debuted at number 4 and hit number 1 on streaming songs in its first week with over 23 million streams. This is not just a comeback for Bruno, this is a statement. Musically, this song is a bolero. A bolero is a romantic ballad that originated in Cuba and then was adopted heavily by Mexican musicians. It's slow, it's passionate, and it's built around a vocal that's expected to carry enormous emotional weight. And Bruno Mars, who is of Filipino and Puerto Rican descent, brings a beautiful authenticity to this song. I want you to listen to this song today, not just as a fan, but also as a student, because the things that Bruno is doing with his voice here are things that I work on with artists in production sessions, and understanding them will actually change how you approach your own recordings. So let's get into it. Let's start with the genre because it matters more than you might think. In pop music and R&B, we're often trained to equate passion with volume. More emotion equals more power, bigger note, bigger moment. That's the Whitney Houston template. That's the Mariah Carey template. And those are amazing templates. But a bolero is different. In a bolero, the vocal is close. It's intimate. It's telling a story to one person. It's not performing in an arena. The emotion is in the restraint. It's delicate in the way the voice wraps around the lyric rather than projecting it outward. Bruno understood this instinctively. He actually initially had an up-tempo, funkier version of this song, and he walked it back. When you hear that arrangement, the mariachi strings that immediately paint a picture of a bolero, the guitarrón, the vihuela, they make room for his voice to sit. Nothing in the production is competing for your attention. Everything is serving his vocal. That's a production decision. And as a recording artist, you need to understand that the arrangement around your voice either opens the door for emotion or closes it. And Bruno and his co-producer, D. Mile, opened every door on this recording for us.
But just a chance to win your heart, you could set the bar beyond the stars. I'll do anything, anything you ask me to.
The thing that I think is most remarkable about Bruno's performance on Risk It All is that he holds back. I know it sounds simple, but sometimes one of the hardest things to get a singer to do is to practice restraint, to hold back. Because when you're standing in front of the microphone and the music's in your headphones and you feel the song, every instinct says to go, to hit it, to show them what you've got. Prove that you can sing. But Bruno's vocal on this song is built around a principle that every vocal producer understands. You want to earn the moment. You want the listener to wait for it. If you give them everything in the first chorus, by the time you get to the end with nowhere to go, why would they go along with you? Listen to how he enters the song. Do you hear that? He's inviting us in.
For just a chance to win your heart, you could set the bar beyond the stars. I'll do anything, anything you ask me to.
The vocal's gentle, close, it's almost conversational.
Say you want the moon, watch me learn to fly. Ain't a mountain you could point to I wouldn't climb. It's crazy, but it's true. There's nothing I won't do. I'd risk it all for you.
He's using his soft chest voice with breathiness layered on top, and there's this vulnerability in the tones. He sounds like he means every single word.
to hold your hand and call you mine. I'm trying to be your man till the end of time. Oh, I'll do anything, anything you ask me to.
Restraint, and the reason it lands that well, the reason you feel it, is because he made you wait for it.
I would run through a fire just to be by your side. If your heart's on the line, you could take mine. It's crazy, but it's true. There's nothing I won't do. I'd risk it all for you.
Bruno is singing in his chest register for pretty much the entire song. The bolero tradition calls for that warm chest register as you climb and pitch. It's not falsetto like we heard it in I Just Might. It's not his head voice. It's his chest voice, but it's pushed higher with lots of air.
I would run through a fire just to be by your side. If your heart's on the line, you could take mine.
And it's a tone that stays present and full. And if you've ever tried singing a sustained note in your chest voice, you know how technically demanding that can be. It requires breath and support, and it requires that you've warmed up properly and that you've trained. It takes practice, it takes training, and as I always say, train like an athlete.
I would swim across the sea just to show you. Sacrifice my life just to hold you.
Early in the track, Bruno's voice is sitting in a comfortable range. It's a mid-register, it's relaxed, and it's intimate. But as the song builds and the arrangement fills in, he starts to reach a bit.
I could go on and on to prove that you belong here in my arms.
In my vocal sessions, this is one of the first conversations I want to have with an artist. You want to start somewhere and go somewhere. Where are we starting and where do we want to go? Where are we holding back? Where are we building? Where's the release? Where's the payoff? You don't want to walk into the vocal booth without a map of your performance. You don't want to sing every line at the same emotional volume. I've done several videos on vocal dynamics because they're so important. Because if you sing everything at the same volume, the recording will feel flat, even if every note is perfect. This is where it really gets interesting from a production standpoint. What D. Mile built on Risk It All is extraordinary in what he chooses not to do. There's no heavy bass line pulsing through the mix. There's no synthesizer taking up the mid-range where the vocal lives. There's no drums booming in your ear. Instead, the trumpets enter. Live percussion adds pulse rather than a driving rhythm, and the guitarrón and the vihuela provide this bolero rhythm underneath. And above all, there's room for the vocals to shine without competing for attention.
You walk the moon, watch me learn to fly, and a mountain you could point to.
And the violins double the melody.
It's crazy, but it's true. There's nothing I won't do.
That's what your track should be for you. You cannot separate a great vocal performance from the track that supports it underneath. The best vocal in the world recorded over the wrong arrangement is not gonna work. One thing that you'll notice as you listen closely is that Bruno's vocal is clean. The pitch is precise, but it doesn't sound tuned.
I'd risk it all for you.
This is where Melodyne comes in for me as a producer and a vocal editor. Why I love to use Melodyne in a vocal edit. Because a Melodyne edit done professionally doesn't remove the character of the voice, where auto-tune might make it sound robotic. In Melodyne, everything is done manually by a human being with finesse. You just hear the best version of Bruno in his true voice.
It's crazy, but it's true. There's nothing I won't do. I'd risk it all for you.
The production was shot on Super 8 film, giving it this genuinely vintage look. And that choice complements the song. The grain, the warmth, the slightly oversaturated colors all mirror what's happening sonically. And the music sounds like something from another era. It's romantic. The visuals match it perfectly. As an artist, you should take note of this. Every creative decision, sonically, musically, visually, lyrically, should all point in the same direction. And when this happens, the audience feels it and knows intrinsically that it's right. Your audience is now part of the experience.
I'd risk it all for you.
All right, so what does all this mean for you? Because I don't want you to leave here thinking, well, that's Bruno Mars and he's amazing, but I could never do that. I want to empower you now. So here are 5 things that I want you to take away from this video. Number 1. Build an arc. Before your next recording session, map your song out emotionally. Write down which lines are the quietest moments. Write down where the peak is. Decide how you want to take your listener on that journey, and then record with that map in mind. Number 2, restraint is a technique. Holding back is actually a skill. Some lines will actually land harder if you hold them back, especially when you choose those moments and you choose when to push harder. Number 3, your arrangement sets the tone. If your beat or your instruments are cluttered, your vocal doesn't have room to breathe and it's not supported, and no amount of great singing will fix that. If there's not enough support underneath your vocal will fall flat. Discuss this with your producer and trust your instincts. What will make your vocal shine? Number 4, pitch correction needs to be done right. The goal of Melodyne done right is not to make you sound like an auto-tune robot. It's a refining tool done with finesse after you finish singing. It makes you sound your best while allowing your very human performance to shine through. And number 5, match your visuals to your sound. Even if you're just making a lyric video or an iPhone music video, the aesthetic should serve the same feeling as the music. Bruno's team shot on Super 8 for a reason. Ask yourself, if my song were a film, what would it look like? Everything we've talked about today, the arc of the performance, the vocal restraint, the pitch refinement, the space in the arrangement, this is exactly what I do in my vocal sessions. So if you have a song that you're preparing to record, or you've already recorded something that isn't quite sitting right, I can help you figure out what's missing. And sometimes it's just one conversation with you before you step into the booth that can change everything about the way the session goes. And if you've recorded your vocals and you need that finesse and that human touch in editing, cleaning up, and tuning, reach out to me. The link to contact me is in the description below when you're ready. And remember, a great vocal production is just a well-planned conversation between a singer and the audience. And having someone in your corner who understands that conversation changes everything about your recordings. These videos are designed to support you and your career. And I'm available for consultations, producing, editing, and tuning as well. And now I want to hear from you. What was your favorite moment in Risk It All? Do you like how he shot it on Super 8 film? Tell me in the comments. I read every single one of them. And if you're not subscribed already, please like and subscribe. I post about real things going on in the real studio from somebody who's actually experiencing it. I'll see you in the next video, and until then, just keep singing.